All right, I'm in the Ryder Cup. This is the fixed bag event, so no sense in picking. It'll be whatever ball is appropriate for the time. Now, I think let's go look at hole number one. I've played the first three holes once, and that's it. I haven't played any of the rest of the holes, so this is the first time. And if I remember correctly, with a 3-power ball, I got out into this area and then coming in with a wood. It looked like it might be possible if you brought out a big enough ball that you could get onto this landing zone and move yourself forward out to here, and you'd probably be on long iron. I think you'd have a cleaner shot too. The angle that you're coming in at it, if you're up in this area. So the pin is right there, right there. So if we draw a line out to that area, if you're past that, you got to contend with this. I think I was able to get, like, I think it was right in front of it is where I was at. So I know my opponent was there, and I think they were more in the center. It'd be nice if we could get, if you go past that line though, you do have to contend a little bit with that. If you were in here and could get forward onto this pad, you'd have a nice clean look at it. You'd be able to take that out of play. But I don't know if I want to bring out a big enough ball in order to get out to that area, so we'll see what the deal is. I'm just gonna go play it. I was playing one of the holes yesterday and I shot it several times. I was trying to shoot video yesterday, and I kept forgetting to switch to I was talking and wasn't paying attention and got on the hole and just started playing, and I kept forgetting to switch from a navigator or a quasar to a power 3 ball. It was on hole number 3. I think I shot it 4 times and I finally got it right on the 4th one, but I messed the shot up. Now you can see with the power 3 ball, it's 1.6 per ring. So if you're using one of the apps, and one of my viewers let me know that Tommy has an app out. So there's the Golf Clash Notebook app, Golf Clash Caddy, and then evidently Tommy's got an app out as well. I'm curious, from that little island right there, they lost some distance. Close. I'm going to try and get around that bend a little. So I'm going to be 3 rings off. 2-9. I'm going to do a 2-ring pull. That's 3-2. It's a little bit of an over pull, but let's do max curl. Hit it 75,000 rings great to the left. It's probably 2. If I'd have hit that great to the right or perfect, that would have been a pretty good area to go in. Now, if I was playing with my normal bag, I probably wouldn't be too concerned right here, because I'd have a Nirvana which hits 135, and I think the rough iron in this, if I remember correctly, it's like at 120. It does have pretty good topspin though. It's got like 50 topspin. Nirvana's got around 50, 54 topspin and 135, so it's 15 yards, but 120 is pretty good for a rough iron. Hey, bro, I don't have any. I gave you a treat when I got home. I did. I don't hear your sister down there whining. I'm going to do a 1-ring pull. I was messing around with the rough iron and the sand wedges. I'm going to put that power back on. Not much. Hitting it perfect. So I should have a pretty good shot from here. Let's see what my club numbers are. So for if I'm in my wedge, it's 1.6 per ring is what I'm going to play it. Like I was saying earlier, if you play the apps, I'm sure that most of the apps that are out there are going to say it's 1.9, 2.0. But I'm going to play it at 1.6. We'll see what happens. Short iron. It must be pretty damn close. And pretty damn close. I'm going to have minimum short iron. My short iron minimum numbers. One backspin. Let's get a little closer to the cup. I'm going to play it at 3.2 per ring, so I'm going to play just a titch over a ring. Hitting it perfect. Just a little bit outside. The width of the cup. Arrgh. All right, that hole's definitely. I think even if you like that shot that I was taking out there, it was the 2 rings great to the left that killed me. I think even a 1 ring great to the left, a perfect, and probably a 1 or a 2 ring great to the right, and that would have been in the fairway. I still would have been in my wood, but I would have been more towards, maybe more towards mid. That would have been a pretty good shot from there. Hole number 2. Let's see what we got. I like my chances on that hole. All right, this hole right here, there is, if you look at the way that the terrain is set up, this is a high spot, this is a low spot, this is a high spot, this is a low spot, and then it goes up the hill here. So, and then it goes back up the hill, and then somewhere up here you got rough. And so if you're hitting on the bottom down here, the way that this hill works, it's pretty close. There's just like one little spot that's flat. And if you move it to the left, the tail waggles to the right. If you move it to the right, the tail waggles to the left. It's very easy to end up, but if you can catch that spot perfect and make a good wind adjustment so you end up back on that spot, you've got a really good shot at going in. If you're hitting on this hill face over here on this side, man, you got to have everything going for you. And the problem is that if you hit low, your ball is going to take a flat trajectory, and it could end up like, especially if you hit a real great, I mean, you could end up way off trajectory. But what's bad here is if you hit it to the left, you could end up like easily like going, and it's like, how the hell did I end up there? Because of how this hill is. So it's safer to hit down from the bottom, but I think you have a better shot down on the bottom. You have a better look at it. Let's see if we can get it right. Maybe. We'll just go play it. I'm not sure what kind of ball it's going to take to get to some of these spots. I know the other thing too is if you have, you know, basically lower developed clubs where you've got clubs that don't have good ball guide, don't have a lot of stuff, and these clubs aren't really that bad other than ball guide. Other than ball guide, these clubs are actually pretty decent clubs. The distance on the driver, yeah, I mean, but the rest of the clubs aren't, you know, they're playable. They are. Where it kills you is in your real short game. There's my red line. Might be able to play with a katana. Plenty of red line. I'm going to find the flattest spot out here I can find. That's 3 backspin. I think I need 4. .6 per ring. I'm just going to do a 2-ring pull right back to the edge of the sand trap, hitting it perfect. A little short, and the wind pushed me off. And that's definitely downhill. So hole number two. It's a wood and a capped. And I'm going to do plus 20%. Let's see if we can pull it back towards the hole. See what happens. We'll make an adjustment. 1.6 per ring. See if my opponent can catch it. The cool thing about, once again, this is why it's so important to record your own video. You can go back sometimes and you can watch your opponents. I catch opponents that'll take a shot that I haven't seen before. You get to go back and take a look at it and see how they set that up. And you catch somebody out there that's trying out some shot like that, and you watch it and you go, wow, if you'd have did this, you'd have made it. You should take that shot, have some fun. Go out and play the game. I wish that they would let us. One of the things that they've changed that I didn't like at the time when they changed it, and I still don't like it, is when you're replaying somebody, you can only replay them 3 times. Sometimes you catch somebody that really wants to go play, or you just like, you won one, they won one, it's been close, did the deal. You start playing somebody like that, and you'll give them a putt and make it to force a shootout so that you can practice those shootouts, and somebody's still going to win, and you're both definitely trying to win. But you can go out, and if you find the right person, you can have fun all day. All right, this hole right here. I'm going out to this spot, and then I'm going to try and get right over to here in 2 so that I have this short iron or wedge shot to get in. And once again, with the limited ball guide, I'll have to work on the setup. I need to get closer. I can't remember what I did on the drive, but I know a 3 side spin, and we need the biggest ball that I can get. So I need a 3 side spin ball. And the biggest 3 side spin ball I'm willing to blow is a Kingmaker. Selected. Now you could help yourself out here and bring a 4 side spin ball, and it'll really help you on the second shot. So, and it may or may not help you if you bring out a bigger ball, but it will definitely help you if you bring something with more side spin. And depending on where you're at on your drive, a bigger ball will definitely help you get to the spot that you want for the second shot. So a power 4, like that open ball, the power 4 side spin, both of those will come in handy. No matter which way the wind's going, you're gonna have to work with it. So those 4-4-4 balls that they have out. Now I will tell you that trying to get to that island, there is a rough bump. There's another a hole in the game that now we use that as a launching pad to get on. But like when the game first came out, or when you've got lower developed clubs, you're trying to hit to that little island. And it's pretty tough to get on that island, and this island right here is worse. I think that hole's like down in... It's in one of the lower tours. It's like Sakura Hills, or it's one of those courses. Now, I think if you hit where my opponent hit right there, that you're just relegating yourself to 3 shots to get on. I'm going to do a wood, 3 side spin, like 1.5 top spin. doesn't that look like it's going to go too far? 3-2. I'm going to do a 2-ring pull. Just a titch. Put some curl on to bring it back to the fairway. Hitting it perfect. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. That almost gave me a heart attack. That was damn near too much curl. Now, that's exactly what it looked like when I was looking at yesterday, the first time I looked at this hole. I mean, if you hit to that side, you're just relegating yourself. There's no way you can make it. All right, hole number 3. It's like 3 topspin. A little less than 3. All right, here we go. It's better for me to hit it on the left, on the inside, because it makes it shorter getting up. Just a little too much. There's another hole in the game that when I'm playing one-on-one in tournaments, I play it totally different. But in one-on-one, I love to do a max overpower hook. It's my buddy Mike D. It was one of the very first holes we ever played, and he was talking to him on the phone. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm doing this max overpower hook shot, and if you blow it, you'll end up going over the green, and the look is almost exactly like this. It's real steep. Hit it great. I think, yeah, I mean, if you go the other direction, that's pretty much what you're looking at. Now, you could bring out a bigger ball, but I don't really think it would help you. Okay, I'm in my rough iron. I'm going to see if I want to see what the topspin does on this club. 2-9. And I'm just going to move it. Right there. Oh, yeah, 2 rings great to the right. I like how the topspin rolled out though. That's about the same kind of topspin that you have on a Nirvana, so you can get, one of the cool things about a Nirvana is you can play it a lot like a rapier. There's a lot of holes that you can run out topspin on it if you're in the rough really close to the green. It's one of the reasons I really like Spitfires, because you can do the same thing with them, and it has a great ball guide. And lots of topspin. I think this hole right here is a hole that we can set ourselves up to get over to that spot. I took that shot twice yesterday, or I made it. And the first time I was way over. Way. All right, so from this point forward, I have no clue. None. Let's check out hole number 4. Hole number 4. All right, another one of the par 3s. My goal is to get in front of, anytime I mean, obviously I want to get in front of this. I want to get on this side. So we'll have to see what our options are. I'm going to bring a lower, bring a navigator and cut the wind down. Off, we roll. I'm curious to see what the scores are. So the minimum score doesn't change. The minimum score on this course is 12. So we're looking for minus 12 as a minimum. You got to get eagles on the par 5s. Birdies on the par 3s, birdies on the par 4s. The holes that we'll have the most difficulty with is the par 5s. Let's see if my opponent can get over from there. Anytime you have to put curl on a shot, your chances of repeatability, like it's not that can't go in, but the chances that they would repeat it are grim, because curl is a huge variable that we have no way of you know, what is it for one person to the next. Let's see here. I'm going to go a couple forward of it. There's spots in some of these courses where we can do rough bumps from the fairway, and that is definitely one of them. Okay, there's 3-2. That leaves me 6. Go just shy of a half a ring. Hit it one ring great to the left. And if I was going to hit it one way or the other, great to the left is better. And it went great to the left. There's several holes. There's a par 5 I can think of where we have that same kind of shot, and there's several par 3s where you can do rough bumps from the fairway because it's so steep. That it's the same action when we're playing and you're doing a drive and it hits a spot, and all of a sudden instead of bouncing it just slides across the course, because it came down the hillside and hit the hill face, and instead of bouncing up it just kept, you had top spin on it and it just kept running. And now it's really running. It's the same kind of thing, but you're using it to your advantage for the backspin. In the hole. Because that would be one of those spots that if you ran topspin on a shot and you hit it, there's a good chance it'll slide, just like my opponents did, where it slid across the course. And I'm not exactly sure how they set their shot up, but you'll get that kind of effect. Hopefully that makes sense. Maybe it does. Hole number 5, Buster Boy. I got no treats for you, man. I do. I don't. See, my hands are empty. All I got in my hands is the stylus. My 5.5 inch custom carbon fiber slide across the screen like nothing. All right. This is the first thing I do whenever I'm looking at a brand new hole. I draw a line from the tee box to the green, and we can't go that way. So what's the shortest distance? We got route number 1, and we got route number 2. Okay. So in this scenario, I would like to get out into here and cut some distance to the cup off, because if you draw a line from the cup out to this spot and you draw an arc, I think the best that you could get would be maybe up into this area, and so you're outside of that arc, so you're just making it longer on yourself. So I'm going to try and get up into that area. That's what it looks like to me. Power 3 ball would probably help. Power 3. Tighten. I want to tighten. Better bring a game maker. let's help these clubs out all that we can. A bigger power ball might help too. What do I have for bigger power balls? You bring a power 4 ball. I'm going to bring one of these open balls. And we're going to play with the. I'm going to play with the fixed bag. Let me take care of some business here. Let me do my pin chest before I forget, my maxed club card chest. Let's see if I get one of the 5 today. We're going slow. Cataclysm. That is one of the 5. Off we roll. All right, Ryder Cup. Continue. Rookie. Hole number 5. Play. Let's see what we can get. Okay, they brought a power 5 ball. Let's see how far they can get out there. Well, they might be able to make that if they had any kind of positive wind, but without wind right there, it's running right along that rough line, and it's actually, the way it's running on that rough line, might be able to make it. Now, the one thing I have noticed about these clubs is they have a lot of curl. So in that situation, we'll have to see how it bounces on the other side for my opponent. See, they caught it really low and it took a flat trajectory. Nice spot. Nice. 300 yards. Nice shot. Nice shot. Alright, let's run everything. Let's run it all out. Let's get out there as far as we can get. Three, 1.6 per ring, so there's 3-2. A little. Can't really put any overpower on it. Hitting it perfect. Now see how my bounce took the second bounce. It took a regular bounce forward. Had a lot of distance to it. And if you go back and rewind and watch my opponent's shot, it came off. He hit on the down side of the hill. So when it came off, it didn't take a bounce up. It took a bounce forward. So we lost some distance. Now, weren't they playing with a Apocalypse? And now they're playing with a Titan. Oh, they must have switched at the last minute and I wasn't paying attention. They charge too much. All right. Let's see what kind of distance we can get here. It's about 3 rings off right there. 4, 5. There's 3-2, 4-2, 4-8. Oh, and I could hit it great on the right, on the left, or perfect. But greats to the right kill me. Oh, excellent. That headwind killed me. Without that headwind, I would have been able to catch over there, but I probably would have. Let's see where I'm at. I might have been able to make it without rolling off into that rough. Maybe. My opponent's in their short iron. I'm a little bit closer, so I may be in my wedge. I'm going to play my wedge. Same thing, 1.6 per ring, 3.2 at mid. And from where I'm at, it looks like it's pretty flat. Short iron, a minimum short iron. One backspin. Get right up on it. My short iron, I'm going to play 3-2 at minimum. So that leaves me 3. So it's 1 1/10. 1-1. And it's more like 1-1-5. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I can get any of these to drop. In the hole! Eagle. Finally, picking something up. Giving myself a look. I'm still a big fan, even though the ball guide's the same when you go down the scale. Getting into your short iron and wedge, getting close like that is much more better. All right, hole number 6. Hole number 6. What is hole number 6? This is a par 4. And once again, let's draw a line from the tee box to the flagpole. That's the shortest distance. So, like, if we can make it out into this area. Curious if we brought out a big enough ball, like how far forward can we get? It'll be difficult to get onto this green. It looks like it's uphill right in this area, and at the end of your run, you're trying to go up a rough area. So it might be one of those ones where, like, you're still going to have to take a shot. You're not going to be able to get on the green. Let's go check it out. Let's go play it. I'll take a Titan. The king of balls. My buddy Mike D's got a ball collection. He's got, I'd like half the balls that he has in his collection. I would use them. I wish they had a better way for you to sort your balls. If you had a big collection like that, because I know several people that have big collections, and you can get a little tedious. What is that ball? Power 3. 3 side spin, 5 wind. Hitting it perfect. And they have quite a bit of distance still on the table. Excellent. This green might be a little tricky to come into. I'm just going to hit it out there. I'm not going to really put any serious overpower on it. It's 1.6 per ring, 3-2, 2 rings. That puts me about, what, 3/4, a little over 3/4, 7/8 in the power. Hit 1 ring great to the right. I just want to see where it goes if you don't have to do any overpower, just with a 3-power ball, like what it does. I think with max overpower, I definitely would have rolled off. I'd have had to know what my numbers were. Yeah, for sure. Now, I think in regular play, that hill where that rough's at looks dangerous. That green looks super steep and hilly. They're taking it with a wood. This might be a good hole for either a sniper where you can run the topspin and do the rough bump, see if the rough bump works out for him. Or bring a guardian so you can use backspin. Let's see how that works out. I didn't see how much topspin. When I go back and watch this video, I'm going to have to see how much topspin they put on there. I'm going to try the same shot, but I have no idea how much topspin they put on. I put on 3.5. Okay, 4-4. 3 rings is 4-8. I'm going to go a little shy of 3. And hit 1 ring great to the right. And that was about the right speed. You can see it fell off at the very end. And there, the pin is on a mound. It doesn't look like it from this direction, but from my spot, it definitely looked like there's a little plateau right there. So you definitely want your shot coming in a little bit from the left. Close. Would have liked to have seen what a perfect looked like. Because if you can catch those little hills like that where it just rolls up to the top, it's not too bad if you're on trajectory. It's a draw. All right. Hole number 6 in the bag. Hole number 7. Let's see what hole number 7 is. So we're on the last stretch here. So we got a par, what is it, a par 3? And there's a rough bump here too. Well, we won't have to take the rough bump. From this direction there is a rough bump, but man, that's real meager right there where that sand trap's at. And if you have to negotiate with that sand is, you can see that shadow right there. You start having to, if the wind's blowing in any direction like this, that requires you to have to pull back past the sand, that could be very difficult. I'd try and see if there's a spot here and you could side spin it back around. It gives you a little bit more open area. It's just wind that's running from this direction that would cause you problems. Maybe have multiple spots out there. So like if the wind's blowing right, this is an optimal spot. But if the wind's blowing wrong, we can go over to the other area. But from the rookie tees, it looks to me like we're going to have a straight up shot. And there may be a rough bump here, but I might be able to just go right at it. Let's get on it. Hole number 7. See if we can get it. See if we can get a hole-in-one with 2.7 ball guide. I kind of remember the very first hole-in-one I got. I know I was really excited. I know when I had lower developed clubs, there's a point where you get really kind of frustrated with your club, especially when you're up close. You're getting yourself close, but you're ending up off the green because your ball guide blows. Three, 2. It's 2 rings. See if we can hit it perfect. Hit it 1 ring right to the left. I've been releasing one when it's going from the right to the left. Started hitting greats to the right, so I switched up and started hitting great from the left to the right. Excuse me. Whoa, that felt good. with more ball guide, this hole right here, that backboard, we may be able to find a funnel on that backboard. And you could probably do it now. If you knew, you'd have to find a spot. I don't like how it rolls in from there. I don't like that little hillside. I think you can get in trouble on that hillside, especially if you hit anything great to the left, towards the sand. Barty. All right. All right. I think I've only dropped one shot where I didn't get the eagle on one of the holes that I was right there. I'm not even sure. Am I at -7? That is grim. I did drop a hole. I dropped the first hole, dinking around. Oh, I hit in the rough. Didn't recover. All right. So if we play it out, we'd be at 10. But that means we got to get an eagle on the last hole. Let's go check hole number 8. That's got to be a par 4. I think if you have enough stuff, you might. We'll have to see where our red lines are at. But it just looks to me like this finger might be screaming for somebody to do. And there could be a max overpower hook shot in that area. That's a pretty narrow fairway. I mean, if you look at all the fairway stuff that's on here, other than this is pretty much the narrowest spot. The obvious spot is to hit straight forward. But whenever we have angles where we can do these max overpower hooks and try and get run, so we'll have to go out and see where our red lines are at. I'm going to take a Titan. A Titan. Here we go. Hole number 8. Atomic Punk. Thanks for joining the channel. Let's see what this hole looks like. If we can ever get out there. So obviously this forward shot, no shit, you'll never be able to get over there. With a bigger power ball I could get up on that side, but I suppose maybe from the back tees. Well, that's still a long shot going over. .32 or 3.0, 2 rings, 3.2. The power back in it. Put some overpower. Not a lot. Hit it 75, at least 80,000 rings to the freaking right. That's why I set myself up way out in the middle. That is definitely uphill. So we should be taking wind off here. And it looks way uphill. There's a golf course over on the Oregon coast, Salishan, and they've got one of their ocean par 3s. It's on the back 9. You're down below. You can't even see the green. You can barely see the flagpole. Let's see what my opponent gets done. Firing it out there. The Ryder Cup. Very nice. Very nice. And they're at 343. Not too far ahead of me. Right at the red line. So it's 1.6 per ring, so 2 rings. It's 3, 2. That leaves me 5. And that's about a third. And I hit it 1 ring right to the left. Now I'm on a 1 ring right to the left trip. Not quite, and that was 3 and a little. I probably could have did without the little. See how my opponent does. And they got 3 and a little. That was a pretty nonchalant wind adjustment. They should be fine. I don't have any treats, Buster. I don't. That might roll back. And keep rolling. And keep rolling. And keep rolling. If you ever watch real golf, if you ever watch the Masters, if you're into golf, you watch it on TV and the television doesn't do it justice. It's almost like the Grand Canyon or Crater Lake or one of those places. They can't accurately depict how steep some of the greens are and how tiered they are. Or if you're on one tier, so like you're watching TV and you see them and they hit and it goes past the cup and then it rolls for a mile. And they show the hole, but it doesn't. When you're there, you're like, oh my gosh. And I've played in some of those tournaments. I've played in some of the courses right after they play a tournament, and where they still have the greens set up like they did on the last day of the tournament. And let me tell you, it's tough. Tough. Real tough. No matter how good you are out in the field, the greens will kick your butt. All right, distance. Is this hole number 9? Hole number 8? It is hole number 9. So from the tee box, I'm just wondering if we can't get out into this area and try and bring it over to get over into this. Or are we relegating ourselves to trying hitting down here? I mean, as far as distance goes, this is way within the arc. So if we have to come down into this area, this would blow. Right at the end of your run, having to deal with that rough area to try and get the distance to get into your wood. Because if you look at where this finger's at, you really want to be in this area in order to have a nice clean run at the cup. You wouldn't want to be hitting back. I suppose if you did that route, maybe you could get to there, but we'll have to see what the distances are. I'm going to bring once again. I may switch up to a Kingmaker because I might need the side spin. Hole number 9. First time ever playing hole number 9. Let's see if we can get an eagle. The goal is to get an eagle. We got to do whatever it takes to get on it too. So we're putting for eagle. I don't know if that's possible. But if it is, let's see where my opponent's now. We're screwed. That's a 1 power ball. Okay. Yeah, no, we're not screwed. We're good to go. We're good to go. We can just hit over there. We don't have to try and curl it from up here. Although, we'll have to see where they can go with the power 4 ball. So trying to do the rough bump. Uh-oh. Are you saying it didn't hit the rough? No, you're still on it too. I think the same shit's going to happen to me. But I don't want that second bounce to hit in the rough, otherwise I'll end up in the rough. So I'm going to pull it down into this area right here. There's a 3-2 pull. Put a little bit of curl on it. Oh, I missed it. So I'm going to end up in even worse shape than my opponent. My opponent can easily get on from where they're at, even in the rough. I don't know if I can get on from there. Easy. So this will be, if this is the last hole, we should be able to get, we got to actually have an Albie shot on this hole. If we had more ball guide, there is a killer rough bump right there. And I don't know if I can even get up to that spot. My opponent has that for eagle. Oh, I can't. Good. Good. .6. Okay, there's 1.6. That leaves me 1. It's about 2/3. Get it 1 ring right to the left. And I don't like taking long putts. Oh my gosh. That's a monster putt. So maybe 1.25 topspin. I think I had 2 and a sliver. Rolling out the red carpet. Getting the eagle. Well, it's nice to know at least one of these holes we can get on. And 2, so if you're not having to take a massive putt that you may not be able to take. Hitting it perfect. Woo! I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to have to take that putt more than once. Getting the eagle. Depriving them of a chest. All right. That was the Ryder Cup. Most of those holes I'd never played before, so lucky I ended up at the 10. Now I ended up screwing up on hole number 1. Should have at least got the 1, so at 11. So the 1 par 5, I think that's hole number 3. Definitely got to work on that one. Definitely got to work on it. 13 at the top. I think if you shoot the minimum score of 12, and if you can pick anything up on that, then you're in the catbird seat. So getting a 13, that's a killer tiebreaker. So really focusing on trying to put ourselves in the right spot on every hole. And I think we do have opportunities to put ourselves in the right spot. I'm trying to remember, like, when I play my short iron, I really like to get my short iron in ranges where I can put on 1 backspin. And one of my teammates, Kevin, we talked on the phone and played. He comments that, man, you always get that thing so close to the cup. And one of the things with lower ball guide is getting a little closer to the cup when you're in your short iron and not leaving yourself short. All right, that was the first looks of the Ryder Cup, the fixed bag event. Thanks for watching. Sorry I haven't put out any videos. I've shot a bunch of video, but like I'm totally dyslexic. I've been so busy the last week and a half. I watched one of the videos and I was like, oh yeah, I overpulled it, and I went back, and when I watched it, I was like, no, dummy, you underpulled it. And then it was like every single thing was like that. So I'll try and put out some more rounds, I'll do a weekend round, and then I will do a walkthrough for the next tournament. Thanks for watching.